what he's missing, and this is the main thing. Another thing that Rebbe says, in a couple of ways, that how could a Yid needs to wait for Mashiach, right? The Rambam says if you don't wait, you're a kofer. How is a Yid going to come to wait for Mashiach? The Rebbe says it's through learning about it. If someone doesn't learn about it, it's just a dream. It's not even a dream. It doesn't. He's busy with so many things. It doesn't even affect his day-to-day life. But when he sets time and he sits and he learns about it, then mitamol he starts connecting that there's a reality over there that he needs. That he needs. Like, you know, if he's not going to sit and learn about it, he's not going to wait for it. If he learns about it, just like the Eibishter, he's not going to learn about the Eibishter. He's going to learn Chassidus. How are you going to love the Eibishter or fear the Eibishter? You need to learn about the Eibishter. So to Mashiach, if a Yid's not going to learn, or we're going to say the Ba'ifin Chayuvi, through learning about Mashiach, you're going to actually know what Mashiach is, and from the person's Seichel, he's going to make him actually wait for Mashiach. So the Rebbe says that through learning about it, it's going to make you wait. That's one thing. And another way you can learn it is that if you're taka waiting, you're going to learn about it, which means if you believe that he's coming, so you're going to start learning the halachas to know like what's negea to do when Mashiach is going to come. If you believe something's happening today, tomorrow, it's Erev Shabbos, you're going to learn Hilchos Shabbos. Soon as Chanukah, you're going to learn Hilchos Chanukah. You believe Mashiach is coming, you're going to learn about Mashiach, to know what to do when Mashiach is going to come. But it's even more emphasizes the other way around. Through learning, this is going to make you actually feel it and want it. Okay, so now, that was the Hagdama. For the next 10 minutes, we'll at least start to learn from the actual Sefer, the way the Rebbe explains Hilchos Melech HaMashiach.
How many shiurim should this take?
To finish the whole Sefer.
Mashiach
The Rebbe's been just gala taking
is just today. Mashiach is coming. You're going to know.
Even before we start, the Rebbe will come in. Okay.
We have a meeting now, Asara. The Rebbe mentioned about
Right.
I guess next time I should try to bring my Sefer.
See the Asara.
Yeah.
I forgot to bring my Sefer. Next time I'll try to bring my Sefer.
Yeah.
I didn't get.
Here you have a video. Someone will take a picture of the crowd. How many Rabbi Shia has?
I posted it on Nash. People asking, they want to know what the link is
for the live.
For this, not for the live, for this thing.
Yeah, I'm going to post a video, but I want to make a live thing. Rosenzweig gave me the idea to give this shirt. He said I should make a live stream. Okay. The Rebbe, I'm going to say about Pep first, just what the Rebbe says in this Seif. The Rebbe brings over here the first halacha in the Rambam, where the Rambam says brings a proof from Mashiach and Torah, from Parshas Bilam. And the Rambam, usually, every Sefer has, what's the purpose of the Sefer? You have a storybook, so you can say stories. Rashi's purpose is to be Mefarish Pshuti Shal Mikra. Gemara, you can start bringing Populim, Limudim, Rayis, where do we know? From here, from there. Halacha Sefer is to tell you, Bapoil Mamish, what's the halacha? Do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. That's halacha l'maaseh. Like the Rambam says in the beginning of his Sefer, that he's writing his Sefer Beloshin Berurah V'derech Tzara, in a very clear Loshin and a very short. So the Rebbe asks over here, when the Rebbe brings proof from Mashiach, he brings a Raya from Parshas Bilam. When the Rebbe brings a Raya from Parshas Bilam, he starts bringing a whole bunch of psukim. Where do we see in Parshas Bilam that he speaks about Mashiach? And he goes on and on and on and on and on. And the Rebbe says, what's Negeah, this whole long writing. The Rambam should have just said in Parshas Bilam, it speaks about Mashiach, and that's it. You don't need to say anything more than that. If the Rebbe wants to bring, you should know where in Parshas Bilam, so the Rebbe says the Rambam could bring just the beginning of the pasuk and the end of the pasuk. And the Rebbe says that's exactly what the Rambam does in Pirush HaMishnayos. The Rambam over there says the Torah, in the Geras Kamen, the Torah clearly witnesses on Mashiach. Like it says, Areinu v'layata, it brings the beginning, Areinu v'layata, Shalom v'layikari v'goymer, it says, V'hoya adim yireisha, it brings the beginning and the end. Why over here, we're here, this is the Rambam is meant to be the Katzer, the Mitamol, the Rambam means a whole long arichos, deep length, from the Psukim from Parshas Bilam. Okay, so let's start reading inside. Kosav Rambam is Sof Hilchos Malachim. The Rambam writes in the end of Hilchos Malachim, V'chol mi she'einu ma'amin boi b'Mashiach, anyone that doesn't believe in him, who's in him? So the Rebbe adds in Mashiach, mi she'einu mechaka l'v'yosei, or anyone that does not wait for Mashiach. Boi b'shar nevim v'vadu kaifer. He's not only denying in all the other prophets.
In the original Rambam, there's like a parenthesis, Mashiach.
No, it doesn't say. These words Mashiach doesn't say. The
Rambam
Rebbe adds it in because in the original, because
The Rebbe is saying.
yeah, in the Rambam it starts Hamalach HaMashiach Asid Lamed. So the Rambam could continue with Chamisha Rambam, but here the Rebbe doesn't say. The Rebbe just said, okay. Shana Torah Hi'ida Allah. Let me shine a vim of Kaifer. Elevated of a He's not only denying in all the other prophets, because all the other prophets, like the Rambam says later, there's so many brakim and psukim and tons of stuff about Mashiach. It's full Yeshaya, it's full of Mashiach. But Chumash, Moshe Rabbeinu, they also spoke about Mashiach. The Rambam says yes. If you don't believe, it's Koiv B'Terev of Moshe Rabbeinu. Shena Torah Yidolov, the Torah witnesses clearly on Mashiach. Shneimar V'Shav Hashem Eliktecha Shvuz Chachulu. Like it says, Hashem is going to return all the into Eretz Yisrael. It clearly speaks about Mashiach. After that, the Rambam continues. After Parashas Bilam Namar, V'Sham Niba B'Shnei Mashiach. Also in Parashas Bilam it says, over there he prophesied in the two Mashiachs. The Mashiach Harishon Shu David. The first Mashiach, that's David. Shaishias Yisrael Mi'atzim, that saved the Yidden from the hands of those that made them pain. Of the Mashiach Ha'acharim She'emet B'Banav She'Mashiach Yisrael Ma'achareina. And the last Mashiach that gets up from David's kids, that's going to redeem the Yidden in the end. And the Rebbe brings over here in the footnote that in the original Rambams it says Miyad B'nei Esav. The Mashiach, the last Mashiach that's going to save the Yidden from the hands of the kids of Esav.
So why Dafka David is counted as Mashiach Harishon?
So this is what the Rebbe is going to speak about. That's one of the Rebbe's questions over here.
I'm saying why Dafka David and not other...
That's one of the Rebbe's questions. This is the Rebbe's that asks Shaul, why not Moshe Rabbeinu? The Rebbe's one of the, that's already later on. And Siv Beis, Siv Gimel, Dalet, hey. Okay, the Shamu but over there it says, At Ernu V'Layata is David. In the Nevuah it says, At Ernu V'Layata. I see him, and it's not now. So, the Rambam says, who is it referring to? This is referring to David. Hashurenu V'Leikar, if I see him, and he's not close, that's what Bilam said, says the Rambam, the Melech HaMashiach, this is referring to the King Mashiach. Dorach Keich of Yaakov, a star is going to fly out of Yaakov, says the Rambam, this is referring to the David. Become Shevet B'Yisrael, Bilam says a ruler is going to get up from within the Yidden, says the Rambam, Zeh Melech HaMashiach, who is Bilam referring to the King Mashiach? Omachatz Pasi Moyav, he will hit a part of Moyav, who is just referring to the David, this is referring to David HaMelech. And now the Rambam proves, where do we see that David hit Moyav? He brings a proof. There's a passage that says that David hit Moyav and he measured the dead bodies with a rope. The Karkar called Bnei Sheis, he will rule over all of Bnei Sheis. This is referring to the King Mashiach. Where do we see that Mashiach is going to rule over the whole world? So he brings from Zechariah, there's a similar passage in Tehillim. It says he was going to rule over from one ocean to another ocean. Basically, he's going to rule over the whole world. Adam is going to be an inheritance to him. He's going to inherit Edom. He's going to rule over Edom. They're going to be his slaves. David, this is David, like we see that Rambam brings a proof. It says that Edom, all of Edom was slaves for David HaMelech. So we see that it was Milkuim by David. He's going to inherit Seir. His enemies, he's going to rule over Seir. This is referring to the King Mashiach. Like it says, that though the Mashim, the Malach HaMashiach, he's going to go up. Mashim is Malach HaMashiach and the Yidden, they're going to go up on Haritziyin. And the part of the Goyim doesn't bring the continuation of the Pasuk. But over there it says, Lishmet Esar Esav, to rule over, to judge Had Esav. So we see that this is referring to Mashiach. Now the Rebbe asks, the question we said before outside, we're going to read it inside. The Sefer Halachos. The Sefer of the Rambam is a book of Halachos. Kedivrei HaRambam, like the Moshe Sefer, like the Rambam himself writes in his introduction to the Rambam, at the end of the introduction. That's the purpose of the Rambam, a book of Halachos. And it's not a book to say droshes and psukim of the Torah. But we need to understand. The Shekol Mishayne Maimin Boy Chulu Kaver Beter V'Meishar Rabbeinu Hayamas B'Kilo Hayokaitz V'Rak After Parshas Bilum Nemar V'Sham Nima B'Mashiach Ha'Acharin Shemin V'Baram Shemashiyas Yisrael B'Achareinu. In order to prove this, that the Torah, if a guy that doesn't believe in Mashiach, he's denying the Torah, would be enough for the Rambam to just say, in the Torah, in Parshas Bilum, it says Mashiach is going to come, that's it. Doesn't need to mention one word from Parshas Bilum. Should just say, in Parshas Bilum it says, we would know on our own that what is the Rambam referring to? He's referring to the Psukim that it says over there in Parshas Bilum, this is what the nation is going to do to your nation in the end of days. That's it, I know already. I can open up a Chumash and find it myself. Why does the Rambam need to go in a very deep length and all these details, bring all the psukim and split it in half and say this is David, this is Mashiach, and bring proofs? What is it, Noigeya? This whole arichas. Even if the Rambam wants to say clearly which psukim it's referring to, you shouldn't just mention it and I need to go find it myself, open up a Chumash and start looking. Says the Rebbe, would be enough for him to just bring the beginning and the end. It would be enough to just say, it says in Arena Valiata, we're going, but on these words says, you could want to look in the footnote, Ray get his time to put the Gimel Korah for the Seifi, the Rambam get his time right, but do this Kapach. These are the words of the Rambam. Like the Torah promised us about Mashiach and Torah in this that he said, I see him and not now, I see him and not close. He skips all the psukim and he says the end of the So why over here in the Sefer Halachos, which the whole purpose of the Rambam is to say things as short as possible. Over here, the Rambam brings all the psukim and with deep length. We should stop over here. Okay. Before we continue, we should